back to Clips and Tips, the series that we're putting through for Bike Month. Today's topic, it's side guards. Clips and Tips is brought to you by McLeish Orlando and Bike Law Canada. So right into it, side guards. What is a side guard? Well, you see those trucks around the city driving around. Some of these are cargo trucks, cargo vans, you might want to call them. Some are flatbeds. But in any event, on those trucks, if you look at the side, there's an area where they can put a large piece of either plastic or other materials, which is called a side guard. And the intent of a side guard is that when a cyclist or a pedestrian, for whatever reason, hits that truck on that side, usually takes place when there's a right turn or a right hook by the truck, perhaps across a bike lane, or just in an intersection that's not controlled by bike lanes, and either the cyclist or pedestrian hits the side of the truck. Instead of going into the undercarriage of the truck, the cyclist is pushed back and away from the truck and usually suffers perhaps upper extremity injuries like broken arms, elbows, etc. But what does not happen to them is they're not killed because they're not sucked into the undercarriage of the truck. And that happens quite frequently. In fact, it happens far too often, and it's happened certainly in many cities across North America and here in Toronto. I've been personally involved with a number of cases involving cyclists where a truck has made a right hook or a right turn in front of their pathway. The cyclist has hit the upper carriage and then been sucked into the undercarriage because there was no side guard. And that happened at Queen and Gladstone to a gentleman that was riding home to take his kids out for Halloween. It happened over at Dundas and Jones when a 54-year-old cyclist was simply trying to ride to work. It happened to a young lady trying to ride to work when she had a right hook by a garbage truck. Another one over on Bloor Street, again, 58-year-old woman was killed as a result of right hook by a truck. Bloor. That's only a number of the cases. There are other cases, and they happen far too frequently. And the reason I'm bringing this issue up is because in 1998, the coroner of Ontario also felt that this was a real issue and that far too many people were being killed in relation to trucks, and therefore said that there should be mandatory side guards put on all trucks, especially driving in urban centers. When 2010 rolled around, when myself and Albert Cole did the coroner's review of the cycling pedestrian deaths, one of the primary recommendations made by the coroner at that time was, again, mandatory side guards. That went to the municipal, provincial, and federal governments, and to this date, we still don't have side guards. Would they make a difference? Well, we do know from studies, one coming out of the UK, where they have made mandatory side guards on trucks, that they felt that had a 62% reduction in fatalities involving cyclists that hit the side of the truck. So it makes a difference. So if you could, make sure that you write to your local government MPPs or MPs or councillors and ask that side guards be implemented. Cities can do that through bylaws, the provincial government can do it, and so can the federal government, which mandates trucking. So let's get that done. If you're a company and you're running trucks within the city, it doesn't cost a lot to put a side guard on. So why not implement it? Have all your trucks have side guards because they really do reduce death, and it's something we can all work on together. Anyways, that's about side guards. Just so you know, if you take a look at the back of trucks, there's another guard that's put on the back, and those are mandatory. And that was because far too many cars were going into the undercarriage of trucks. So they made a mandatory design that you have that thing at the back of a truck so cars don't go into the undercarriage. No reason we can't do that for cyclists and pedestrians. Anyways, okay, take care.